Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. During its March business meeting, the Greensboro City Council approved a resolution updating economic development incentive guidelines for companies looking to expand or locate in Greensboro. The program, which provides financial assistance to select businesses for creating full-time employment, now includes creating incentive support tiers. This includes a $15 minimum wage requirement for all incentivized jobs and an option to link wage requirements to industry sector rather than only the Guilford County average wage. City Council also supported infrastructure improvements. They approved a $2 million bid from Dane Construction for the Ballinger Road Bridge Replacement Project. This project includes state and federal funding, and the work consists of removing and replacing the existing bridge deck on Ballinger Road, as well as approximately 1,400 feet of roadway. The work will also include installing sidewalks and providing intersection improvements at Ballinger Road and Wakefield Drive. The project is slated to start in May and has a projected completion date of July 2022. Lastly, City Council approved a $2 million purchase of 4 35-foot clean diesel buses for the higher education area transit routes. In response to Governor Cooper's decision to ease COVID-19 restrictions, the city has resumed regular public operating hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays. The public is still encouraged to avoid visiting city facilities if possible, instead using other methods to conduct city business such as by phone, email, postal mail, etc. Maintaining the safety of the community and employees is the city's top priority. The Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department has updated its reopening plan. Staff is expanding indoor facility hours and accepting picnic shelter reservations for parties of 50 and less. Other facility rentals are available, such as the Barber Park Event Center and recreation centers, all of which are limited to 30% capacity. As of Monday, April 5th, all locations of the Greensboro Public Library will resume pre-COVID operating hours. Central Library is open weekdays from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays and from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. All branch locations are open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays and from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays. Customers can use grab-and-go service, allowing for a 1-hour visit to view and select materials. There will be no in-house events at this time. 1-hour computer appointments are also available at all locations. Curbside service will continue for customers who wish to pick up materials without entering the building. For more information, visit the library's website. The City of Greensboro's Minority and Women Business Enterprise, or MWBE, has released its 2020 annual report. The document lists top-performing MWBE companies within the Greensboro relevant marketplace as it relates to construction and professional services. The report includes statistics on the percentage of city contracts awarded to these businesses in 2020. The annual report also outlines new internal processes the Minority and Women Business Enterprise Office put into effect last year. A compliance officer was hired to train employees from all across the city to be the point person on MWBE requests. Another internal change is the introduction of a software system designed to track departmental MWBE participation. The 2020 annual report, which also highlights success stories from local businesses, can be viewed on the city's website. The city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
The coronavirus pandemic has presented us with a unique and challenging situation. It can create a great deal of anxiety and stress. Anxiety and stress to a limited degree can actually be very helpful. However, Taken to a significant degree, stress can create problems for us both physically as well as emotionally. So when trying to manage your stress, there are a number of strategies you can utilize. It is important to really not focus solely on those things we cannot control. In fact, what you should do is have some discussions and think about and even list those things we do have control of. Make it something that you can do together as a family. It's simple as what you're deciding to watch on television, the things that you do during the day, what you're having for dinner. And those may seem like small things that we all don't even think about during the day, but when you're in a time like this when so much of life feels out of control, those things can feel very comforting. Do not overload on information. It is in fact important to understand the facts and keep up to date on to what is going on. However, you don't want to overload by watching television 24/7, staying with the newspaper, all day long. You need to take a break from that information. Think about the things in your life that you've used in the past that have helped you stay calm. Listening to music or playing a musical instrument or reading, talking with family members. These are all the same kinds of things that will help you during this challenging time. Think about creating new routines, whether it's games or watching certain television shows. Try some creative, artistic kinds of things that would be fun and unique. Try to incorporate your children into helping you come up with suggestions of things that would be fun to do. It's really important to understand that, again, stress and anxiety is normal. Do not try to just push it away or pretend it doesn't exist. If we try to deny it and push it down, it sometimes can create really cumbersome feelings, and it becomes more difficult to hold it back than it is just to let it out. It's okay to talk about it, it's okay to acknowledge it, and that in fact will help you work through it. Look at each day as a unique day. We take it one day at a time. Be very present in that day and make it the best possible day it can be. And tomorrow, creativity takes over, you make an entirely new day. But day by day, you will get through this, and that's the best way you can manage some of the stress and the anxiety that comes along with this.
Record numbers of vaccines are being administered in Guilford County, and fire hydrants are being tested in Greensboro. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Guilford County Division of Public Health opened Group 5, which makes anyone age 16 and older, regardless of health or employment status, eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine in Guilford County. Free transportation to the FEMA Vaccination Center continues to be provided by Greensboro Transit Agency and the Piedmont Authority for Regional Transportation. Rides are available to people getting vaccinated at the Four Seasons Mall in Greensboro. GTA passes are available at the customer service counter at the depot in downtown Greensboro. To obtain a free bus pass, provide the vaccination appointment confirmation. A printed copy or digital confirmation will suffice. Park passengers can obtain passes at the Coble Transportation Center ticket window. Guilford County Transportation and Mobility Services provides free transportation to people with disabilities. Rides must be reserved by noon on the business day before the vaccine appointment. Rides are provided as part of a shared ride service. Passes also can be mailed in advance of your appointment by calling the Guilford Transportation Department at 336-641-2561. Greensboro Transit Agency can be reached online or by calling 336-335-6499. Other vaccine locations include Mount Zion Church in Greensboro, High Point University Community Center at Oak Hollow Mall in High Point, and the Greensboro Coliseum. Spring break can be a possible super spreader. Even after being vaccinated, continue to wear a mask in public, get a COVID test prior to traveling, and host gatherings outdoors while maintaining social distancing. The Greensboro Fire Department is conducting its annual fire hydrant testing from now through Saturday, May 15th. All hydrants within the city limits will be tested to ensure they are operating and able to produce the required water pressure as needed. Because this testing must be conducted during regular operating hours, it will be impossible to know in advance where or when the test will take place in any specific area. Operating hydrants and opening can sometimes cause a temporary discoloration of water in nearby homes. The discoloration is not harmful in any way and can be corrected by running the water for just a few minutes. If you notice a hydrant is not working, please contact the Greensboro Water Resources Department. The fire department does not perform maintenance of the hydrants. Testing fire hydrants ensures the protection of Greensboro's residents. It also is an evaluation indicator used by the Insurance Services Office, which rates cities according to the fire protection they provide. The ISO rating resulted in the Greensboro Fire Department earning a Class 1 protection rating in 1992, which is the best rating possible. Greensboro Fire has maintained this top rating since that time. The Greensboro History Museum and the UNCG Department of Communication Studies continue hosting democracy tables with housing and equity. Since fall 2020, more than 160 people from across Greensboro have come together online to discuss topics such as voting, police, community, and justice. The Housing and Equity series explores affordability, evictions, safety, the right to housing, and other topics. Join the Democracy Table conversations on Zoom to discuss personal experiences, what housing means to you, and what people can do to make change in this area. Democracy Tables is designed to promote civic engagement and build democracy in an informal setting while supporting academic research. UNCG students will be observing and taking notes on general themes and questions that arise during the conversations. Their goal is to learn more about how unidentified people talk about and participate in building democracy. Questions posed during the conversations will be answered during the session called Democracy Tables You Asked. This will take place at 3 p.m. on Saturday, April 10th. Tune in to the live stream on the Greensboro History Museum Facebook page. Emergency assistance to pay rent and utilities is available for those whose household income was negatively impacted by COVID-19. Coming up after the break, find out the criteria to be eligible for this federal funding. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The record number of job losses caused by COVID-19 resulted in hundreds of Greensboro residents seeking assistance to pay rent and monthly utilities. Joining me now to talk about federal dollars designed to help renters is Liz Alverson. She is the Homeless Prevention Program Coordinator for the City of Greensboro. Hello, Liz. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always glad to have you. This particular time is so important because now you're administrating the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. When did that get started?
We launched on March 24th.
Okay, so this is really new. This is federal funding available to folks, as I said, who are renters. How easy is it to apply for this money?
You're correct. So the ERAP program for short is funded through the U.S. Treasury Department, and it's primarily for those households in the city of Greensboro who are struggling to pay rent and utilities, are behind, or may struggle to pay future rent, who could be eligible for the program.
Okay. Now, you're saying they have fallen behind. Is there a period of time that you're looking at so that it's not misunderstood as far as who qualifies?
Yes. So our cutoff deadline is March 13th of 2020. So any arrears that happened before March 13th of 2020 are ineligible, but back until that time, they can apply for assistance.
Okay, that's easy enough, and most people would have been right around that time,
yes,
probably sent home from their job. Now, is there anything applicants can do to expedite the application process?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're using this time around is a function or a system called Neighborly Software, and so applicants can go in and apply online. It's a pretty quick application. They just need to upload documents that are necessary for us to determine eligibility. But to expedite that, having their ID ready, having their lease agreement ready, an eviction notice or late notice, having all of those documents up front will help to expedite that process and get their application through quickly.
Okay, and that's a really good point that you make, that some folks may have already been evicted. A lot of people are right on the edge, and this has been a really stressful time in addition to dealing with COVID-19. I understand that sometimes the city will partner with agencies or nonprofits in the community to assist with administering this much money. We're talking nearly $9 million.
Absolutely.
Is that what is happening right now?
Yes, so we are partnering with 4 community agencies: Salvation Army of Greensboro, the Greensboro Housing Coalition, Greensboro Urban Ministry, and Housing Consultants Group of Greensboro.
Excellent. And each of those really touch the community in their own special way, so at least we feel confident that we aren't going to have people fall through the cracks who desperately need this funding.
Of course.
Now, how would you categorize the interest in terms of, since the program has launched, how many applications have you actually received?
It has been quite overwhelming, to say the least. We've had just over 2,100 applications come in that are somewhere in the process, but of those 607 have been submitted and are in the review phase as we speak with one of our 4 partners.
Okay, and do you have any idea, since this is being administered through other groups, how quickly does that application process take?
Right now we're seeing a period of 5 to 6 business days to have an application submitted and then sent to a partner agency for processing until we get to the point of payment to get a check out the door.
Okay, and just to clarify, payments are going to the property manager, the landlord, the utility company,
Absolutely.
Not to the actual renter.
Yes, the checks do not go to the renter or the tenant. They go directly to the utility company or the landlord.
Wonderful. Well, Liz, I know this has you busy beyond measure. We are so relieved to see how many people are being assisted through your office, and we do hope that you'll come back and let us know the ultimate total number of individuals who were assisted through ERAP.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for meetings as needed. Beginning in April, the City Council will hold hybrid meetings where they will be in the council chambers, but the public will participate virtually if they want to address the council. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. City Council meetings usually take place on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The Greensboro Public Library and UNCG Department of Communication Studies began a partnership offering learning circles in June 2020. A learning circle is a facilitated group of learners coming together to achieve educational goals or explore new topics. Participation is free. Recent topics include social justice, technical support fundamentals, coding for kids, healthy cooking, job skills, and poetry writing. Facilitators are seeking community feedback on topics to be offered for future learning circles. The Greensboro Public Library is one of 5 grant recipients of the National Communication Association Center for Communication, Community Collaboration, and Change through the UNCG Department of Communication Studies. The center seeks to facilitate partnerships with community-based organizations, creating sustainable change for underrepresented and/or vulnerable communities. To learn more about learning circles, contact Beth Sheffield. For more information about library events and resources, visit the library's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first we have an important message about COVID-19.
Remember the 3 W's. Wear a cloth face mask covering, wait 6 feet from others, and wash your hands often. By working together, we can adjust to this new normal and continue to save lives.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Throughout the month of April, the Human Rights Department is hosting a weekly Facebook Live session for the virtual Fair Housing series, A Home for Everyone. Each session lasts 1 hour and begins at 12 p.m. The topics are as follows. On Friday, April 9th, Disability and Race will explore protections for people with disabilities and how fair housing laws protect individuals from discrimination based on race. National origin and religion will be discussed on Friday, April 16th. Facilitators will explain how fair housing laws prevent discrimination of foreign-born residents and ensure residents feel safe to express their faith. Race, color, and disability is the topic on Friday, April 23rd. The focus is to educate anyone who may have been a victim of discrimination according to the Fair Housing Law. Familial status and sex will be presented on Friday, April 30th. This session will provide information on fair housing law protections related to sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. For more information, call the Human Rights Department at 336-373-2038. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shout Out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shout Out. This week's shout out goes to Cynthia Blue in the Neighborhood Development Department. She is the Division Manager for Housing Services. Cindy received the 2020 Kavanaugh Cup Award for her ongoing commitment and support of affordable housing. Cindy has worked with the City of Greensboro for the past 20 years. She supported the Storm Recovery Alliance's rehab and construction team comprised of city staff, local nonprofits, and developers to rebuild East Greensboro neighborhoods impacted by the tornado in 2018. To date, more than 55 homes have been repaired and 20 homes were built. Please remember, as more places continue to open, wear your face covering, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. This concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.